Hello YouTube and welcome to the Miniature Construction Company. I thought I'd make a little review video of my latest purchase, which is a top race TR218 drill type excavator. But a more accurate description would be that it's an excavator with a motorised demolition hammer. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you will probably be able to tell that it's very similar to a Huina 1550. And to be honest, as far as I can tell, it's absolutely identical, which is one of the reasons why I bought it, because I wanted to be able to swap the different tools between the two. And for some reason, if you buy this model with the demolition hammer, it's about half the price of the ones with the wood claw or the shovel. I think this cost me £24.99 as opposed to about 50 quid for my Huina. Now, just before I get into the controls, I'd like to briefly go through some of the modifications I've made and the contents of the box. So in the box, basically, obviously, you get the excavator, you get a little 400 mAh battery, which rather neatly fits in the back. You get a USB charger and lead, and you get a control. So now I'll briefly go through some of the little mods that I've made. Now I mentioned earlier that I wanted to be able to fit the different tools from the Huina as well. But unfortunately on this model you can't remove the demolition hammer, because the leads for the motor that live inside actually run internally inside the arm, so there's no way to disconnect them. So that was fairly straightforward. All I did was drill a little hole in the arm and run the leads externally. Put a little connector in, and then when you want to remove it, just unplug it, drive out that pin, unscrew that pin, and the tool comes off. The other thing was that the actual hammer itself on the end of the tool is quite blunt, and it needs to be a bit sharper because it's very difficult to break stuff up. There's not enough force applied. So I drilled, or took the tool off, drilled a hole in the end of the hammer, if you can see there, and then shoved a similar diameter nail inside the hole I drilled and glued it in place. So now, I don't know if you can see, if you look at the end of the hammer, you can see that nail there. It acts like a little chisel, and it actually works a treat. It does a lot better job. One of the other issues I was having was that when the arm was slewed to the side and extended fully, the excavator would have a habit of tipping over. Well, again, that was fairly straightforward, because underneath, I don't know if you can see, underneath, if you remove that plate between the tracks, you gain access to a little area inside, and in there I placed several tyre weights. I'll put a little photo on the screen now. And after I'd stuck a few of those weights in, this pretty much cured the problem. Lastly, I've attached some little toe shackles to the back, so hopefully in the future I'll be able to use some chains on it. So that's the mods covered. Let's have a look at the controls. Okay, that's the battery installed in the back. So to turn the excavator on, there's a little switch underneath which you flick, and that noise means that obviously you've switched it on. You then switch the controller on, the light blinks, and that beeping noise means that the excavator and the controller are now paired. So we'll just turn the sound effects off so you can hear me a little bit easier. The top two buttons on the controller slew the excavator round. These two buttons raise and lower the arm. These two buttons allow the arm to be moved in and out. These two allow the tool to be rotated. The sticks control the tracks, so forward, backwards, and you can control them independently of one another. Obviously we've got the sound effects button. This button here is like a little demo, so it does a little dance all on its own. And the all important button on this particular model is this one here, which controls the demolition hammer. So that's basically the controls for this excavator. Let's take it outside for a quick demo.